Hi. Hi, can you hear and see me now? I see hi, so I'm guessing I am on. Um, Hi. Okay, so I'm gonna give it a couple more seconds or 30 seconds. Feel free to use the chat feature to the right, um, and talk to me or ask me questions anytime throughout the presentation. Yay. I'm asking, can you see me? Can you see me? Yeah? Okay. Um, Let me know if you can see me in the presentation. Okay, perfect. Yay. Okay, so I was just saying, feel free to use the chat feature to ask me any questions throughout the presentation. I won't stop because I promised people 15 minutes. So, oh, hi. Hi, Mary. I always feel weird saying like, hi Casey, but it's really happening. So this is really exciting. Okay, and hi, Emma. So yeah, feel free to use the chat feature. But I am going to go through them and I'll answer any questions at the end after the 15 minutes that I talk. So yeah, I think I will get started because people can just watch the replay if they join a little later. So, okay, so 3 marketing strategies. Oh, hi, Mary. Oh, okay. So, okay, I'm going to read the comments in a second, but I got you, Mary. And I didn't charge much in the beginning either. Trust me. So, yes. Okay. I'm going to go away and do the presentation. Okay. So 3 marketing strategies, how I got my first, and then I continue to get my clients through basically these 3 strategies that I've used from the very beginning. To give you a little bit of a background, I had 2 weeks from the moment I told a local moms group that I am going to have a table at their event. And to start a business. So I didn't have anything. I didn't have a logo, anything. I had 2 weeks to prepare everything. And it was like a huge event of like 500 families showing up. So this is what I did basically in the first 2 weeks. And I continue to do these because I really owe my business that I have now. So until a few weeks ago, before the coronavirus, I was doing about 6 to 13 shoots a week, and none of them are mini sessions. I do not do mini sessions. I'm not that organized. So yeah, here I go. So social media. The first thing I did was set up all of these, except for TikTok because that's new, and all of these are really important. So Facebook page, maybe group, Instagram, Google My Business, Yelp, Pinterest, TikTok, LinkedIn, and website with SEO. These are all very important and I will show you why. So Facebook page, Instagram might be pretty common sense for photographers to get because it is like an image driven platform, but Facebook page is also very helpful to have because you can reach a whole different crowd. So the Facebook page itself, you might not get too much traction from. You might get like a few likes. But what's huge is you can post on your Facebook group and also share to bigger groups, like mom groups or wedding groups, whatever your niche is. And if the group allows it, and it's great to do. And also Facebook group, like I said, you can join bigger groups to kind of share your work and get your word out there, or you can have your own. This was too much work for me and I didn't see too much results, but I've seen some people do really amazingly by having your VIP group and providing clients referral programs, model calls, and first tips on upcoming sessions. So that's the one way. Instagram, like I said, I think this is a pretty standard platform for photographers to show their work. So I won't get into it too much. I do have a whole blog post on how to grow your Instagram and all that. And I will link to that. I have a handout. If you can go to the right side that says files, you should see that. There is a download that you can download. It's kind of like a checklist for what to do after this call. and how you can implement these things, kind of like a reminder. But I will also link to the Instagram post there. TikTok is a newer platform, but there's a huge potential. So it's not like I don't see it as a huge like getting clients platform unless maybe you're like looking for seniors, but it's still a great way to be out there. The whole thing I did and whole thing I just keep emphasizing is that you just need to be out there all over the place. So TikTok is a great way to reach so many people. Yelp. This, I know getting a Yelp account could be scary, but as long as you're doing great work and you make sure that your clients are happy, it's such a powerful tool. And I got my at least 2 or 3 first clients from Yelp. It's a great way to start out. And so, and I've had my fair share of like unhappy clients, but I always make sure they leave happy, whatever the remedy is. So if you do all those things, you should be fine on Yelp too. Pinterest is an amazing tool for blogging. You pin your blog posts, and like so many, if the pin goes viral, you'll be seen by a lot of people. But even if you're not blogging, it's a great tool to have for your clients. To let them know, hey, if you have an inspiration board, feel free to send it to me. It's a great way to kind of understand what your clients' expectations are, and like whether you will meet them or like you kind of have to give them a new expectation. Like, hey, everything you pinned seemed like it was taken at golden hour in the fall time. But you know what? We're doing a midday session in the spring, so it's not going to look the same. So you kind of can correct that. I guess that's not really a marketing tool, but it's just what I use Pinterest for. Website with SEO. It's not as scary and hard as it seems. It is a matter of just plugging in keywords in the right place, like headers, metadata, and once you know where to put the keywords, it just becomes really easy. And Google My Business. This is huge, and I don't think many people do it. And it's like kind of a necessity if you ever want to show up in Google. It's easy to do. Just go to Google My Business. Google that on Google My Business, and you'll kind of they'll walk you through how to set up your Google My Business. And that leads to my next topic. To get on top of Google. SEO is definitely helpful, but it does take a lot of time to build up. But you definitely have to start now, so the good Google juice will start coming to your website. But I wanted to show you an easy way of getting on top of Google, and I did this literally like in the first couple of weeks of starting my business. So I know you can too. So I'm gonna share. Here it goes. Let me get to it. So, okay, what you do is type in family photographer in San Francisco, or whatever your keyword is that you want to rank for. Okay. Can you still see my screen? Oh, it looks like. Okay, here we go. So, yay, I'm on top right here. So that's from Google My Business. That is how you get on, and the location that I talk about next. But what you do is look at these articles that show up on the first page. Some of them are going to be like long-time photographers that have been doing this for a while with amazing SEO. Katie is rocking her SEO, and she's been doing this for a while. But you can see that these are articles written by other companies, or Peerspace is a studio rental company. But anyway, so you go here, and some of them are going to be paid. Like Yelp, you're probably going to have to pay them, or like have some kind of ads running, which is fine. But you can kind of like, I still have to reach out to Peerspace, so I won't go in there, but I think I can get on there too. But what I did, I saw this when I first started, this really cool article. And I was like, okay, how can I get on this? Like, what are the criterias? You go down, these are really amazing photographers. Yay, I'm here. So how I got on here, if you keep scrolling, you'll see, is at the end, it says, do you have a recommendation? And I said, yes. I'm a little biased, but I would love my new photography business to be considered. So this was about a year ago. I started my business like a year and a few months ago. This is my website. I love photographing families in the Bay Area. And they just replied and said, can you please email us? So I did. And that is how I got on. So you can do something similar. Let me go back to the presentation. Maybe. And you can do something similar to get yourself on Google. And you know, they have them for wedding photography, like whatever, newborn photography. So just do your Google research. You can switch it up, like photographer San Francisco newborn will like come up with a whole new list. So just kind of go through and see what you can do. It was pretty easy for me, and I got on a few other lists by doing that. So, and then another thing to emphasize for Google is make sure you have your location in your Google My Business. It's got a little scary, like putting your address in, but I figured addresses are searchable. Like anybody can find your address by just Googling. So might as well, like for my business, at least I'm putting my address in there, because like, as you just saw, if anybody searches for a photographer from their home or wherever they are, Google's going to find the closest person. That's probably why I was on the top, because it was literally right here. So make sure your locations are in there. And okay, so finally what I did, as I told you, was I found a big milestone event or an opening event if you haven't started your business yet. So for me, it was a trade show, like a family event. And it was, you know, these are just great ways to put yourself out there in your ideal clients, and all at once. So it's number one, a good, like, you know, your own personal goal to like be like, okay, I have this trade show coming up, or I have this event coming up, so I'm going to do, you know, everything my possible to make it perfect, or, you know, like great, fun, all that. So trade shows, I know right now, are not very practical. We don't know when we get to see anybody again. So I get that. So, but you know, maybe in the fall or something, have a good goal to have something to show up to. But right now, what you can still do is find local influencers. So like in San Francisco, like Bay Area toddlers or San Francisco toddlers. Those are great people to ask them, hey, can we do a giveaway? I'm toying with one right now, but I just don't want people to think I'm taking advantage of this time. So it's another sticky issue. But anyway, so I think there are great ways to do it. I like to give away a free session. I don't mind at all. I love meeting new people. I can be creative in these free sessions. And also, for the most part, like 50% of the time, people don't take you up on it. So you are giving away a free session, but you know, they might not take you up on it, but you also get a lot of new clients or get to meet new people, ideal clients. So it's a great way to start off your business, or kind of like have a new revamp of your business. So, okay, I promised that I will not go on a long, sleazy sales pitch, but this is my super quick 30 seconds pitch on how I can help you further. So I am starting a 4-week program on Monday. And this will include a 30-minute one-on-one call with me every week, just to like, you know, keep each other accountable. I have guest speakers lined up. We'll do like social media and website audits, and also live group Q&As. First week, we'll do a whole, like the, you know, Yelp and everything that I just told you about. Like we'll set up everything, or if you already have it, just make sure everything's in the right place, and revamp it. We'll do content planning, and then week 2, we'll do walkthrough and revamp or setting up your client communication and experience flow to nail down what you want to offer to your clients. Basically, you will go over the market pricing and where your market is, what kind of packages you should be including. So like, people will have no choice but to be like, I want to hire Emily, or, any of you out there. And then week 3, we'll do vendors and publicity, what kind of partners to reach out with, like a quick exercise I did of like who to reach out to get noticed, different ways to be published. You don't have to like write a whole blog post to get published. It's pretty, I'll go over the ways to do that. And then the final week, we'll go over all the ads that you could do, how they work, and, how much the budget should be and all that. And hopefully by then we can go outside and do photo shoots again. So I'm hoping to take this like next 2 to 4 weeks, however long we're going to be stuck inside, to do this together. So the first 10 people to sign up will be $175 for the entire 4 weeks, and that includes everything, calls, and all the materials, or 4 payments of $45 per month. So I understand like that's like 3 months past this whole program is over, but I don't care. I hope it's so beneficial that you don't mind paying the last 3 payments or whatever. I'm also very open to trade. I know this is such a hard time. Like I said, I was doing 6 to 13 shoots a week, and now I'm doing 0. So it's hard. So I get it. So if you are like a graphic designer, or even like really well versed in ConvertKit, the email marketing thing I'm using, I am totally open for trade. So how you can sign up is you can go to the offers button, and you can click on the Let's Do This link, and you can sign up. Or you can email me. Let's see, my email address will be at the end. So yeah, it's starting next Monday, and hopefully we get to work together. So any questions at all? Okay, I see one comment or question. Let me check. I have a client who wants to explain if they schedule a session, I'm able to contact them again. I do a lot of sessions for free to build my portfolio. How many times do you attempt to contact them after initial contact? Okay, so the question is, when somebody tells them the retainer fee, they never hear back. I get that a lot. What I do is I follow up. It depends on when the session is. If it's like in a few days, I'll follow up basically either the same day or the next day and say, hey, it's a simple email. Hey, I just wanted to make sure you got the information, and if you had any questions, I would love to speak to you over the phone if you wanted to. So it's a very simple, follow-up, and it's casual, so there's no like too much pressure to respond. If they don't respond to that, so that generally I send that 2 days after. But if it's a shorter time frame, like the day after. And then if I don't hear from them, and if the session is like in 2 weeks or something, I usually send them another email, and it's titled literally my final follow-up on the subject line. And I say, I haven't heard from you. I promise I won't bug you again. But I just wanted to let you know, like, I'm still available and I would love to work with you. This is just a big summary of what I say, and I leave off with, if you're still interested, please let me know. But otherwise, if your plans have changed, or if you went another direction, I would love to hear why, so I can serve you or future clients better. And I also say, or if you're still, thinking about logistics and not ready to book yet, please, keep in touch. Here are the 3 ways you can keep in touch with me. You can email me or follow, like DM me on Instagram or Facebook. Or here's like us, if you want to subscribe to my newsletter, here's a link, kind of thing. So with those 2 emails, I feel like I get a lot of bookings that I would have missed out on. So yeah, so those are, and it kind of keeps like a no pressure, but please keep me in mind for the future type of thing. So yeah, but when I send those 2 emails out, I still don't hear back from a lot of people, and I just, mark it as archive and hope I hear from them again. But when I send those 2 emails out, I do get some responses. I hope that was helpful. Yeah. Okay. I feel like I'm talking to myself. I wish I could see everybody. But anyways, okay. So I have another question. Do you communicate with clients primarily through Instagram, Yelp, Facebook, or how do you correspond? For the most part, a lot of Instagram. Instagram is sometimes I get really amazing clients, and sometimes I get a lot of people who just wants like free sessions, or like for $100 or something, which is way lower than my rate now. But I think mostly through email and text. So none of the above. A lot of people find me through Google. People find me through Google, probably like 55 to 60% of people find me through Google, because I'm not very active on Instagram or Facebook. I wish I was, but I still get communications through there. But for the most part, Instagram and Facebook. Yelp gets crazy when you do ads. Like, you get so many inquiries, and I don't do them for a lot of reasons now, but I highly recommend it for somebody who's just starting out. But I can go on and on about that, so I'll stop. Okay, I have another question. When I do session, I have a tendency to split the session into a couple different sessions. Example, senior sessions. Oh, senior sessions. I'll do a summer and a fall session. Oh, okay. I will do a summer and a fall session. This is a good practice to do, or should it be one-time session? I'm always trying to work with a client. So I'm guessing that, so you split the sessions. So you say, if somebody books a full session, you say, well, you know what, we can split it up into spring and fall is what I'm guessing. So they're basically getting 2 sessions in one price. I haven't done, maybe I've done that for a couple of clients when I can tell that they're just kind of like over the edge of like not being able to book 2 sessions. But instead of splitting up a session, I usually just give, and so I usually say, if you book a spring and fall, I'll give you like, a 25% discount, or I'll give you, so I've done this with newborn and family. So when somebody says, I want to book a newborn and maternity and newborn session, but I'm really wondering about Fresh 48. I usually say, you know what, I can just include the Fresh 48 for you, but no commitments, because Fresh 48, you kind of have to like block off your 3-week period. And I just let them know that I'm not going to block off my entire 3 weeks, but usually I will find time in that 48 hours to come over. So I do stuff like that. And it's really like, I don't advertise for it. It's really just case by case. Because once you advertise, everybody's going to expect that. So, if what you're asking is like, how do I get clients to come back? I think, number one, some clients really like to work with other photographers, and I get it. I'm the same way. I'm kind of like, ooh, I wonder what it's going to be like with her, or, him. But to the extent that I want clients to come back, how I do it is, of course, keep them in touch. If before the fall, I would say, hey, I have fall sessions coming up, and you by no means don't have to do this, but I always offer my previous clients their previous price. So people who have been with me from the beginning will continue to get that pricing. That's a great way to, I think, keep people like, they might see my pricing now and be like, oh my God, she doubled in price, I'm not going to go through her again. But if I let them know, hey, just so you know, you still have the same pricing, that helps. And just in general, I send them a feedback form at the end, or I try to, for the most part. And people who I actually like sent a feedback form and that responded to me have always booked again with me. So I think a lot of photographers don't send a feedback form, like, what did you think about my experience and all that. That is a great way, I think, to let people know that they care. Like, you just don't send them the photos and be like, okay, I'm done with you. It's kind of like, okay, like, I loved working with you. Please let me know how I can continue to do this for you. Something you can implement. What would be a good price for a photo shoot as a beginner? So for me, I started out with, well, I asked a friend of mine who happened to be one of the local influencers. Well, we were Instagram friends, to model for me for the first shoot ever, to just even see if I wanted to be a photographer. But as soon as I stepped on that beach with my camera, I knew this was what I wanted to do. But anyway, so that was free. I did a few other free sessions. Through a friend, a family photo, and then another friend that did free sessions. And after that, through Yelp, I got my first inquiry for like a price that I thought nobody will ever book me for. It was $275. And I freaked out. I didn't even have a form of payment. So that was lucky. So that's another reason I highly recommend Yelp when you're starting out, because you never know. And then after that, I freaked out and I was like, okay, I need more practice to, luckily that session was a month after. So I was like, I need more practice so I can make sure this client is happy paying me this like full price that I thought people never pay me. So the next session I did was for $75. It was through like a local moms group that somebody was looking for an affordable photographer. And I said, yes, that's me. Luckily, she contacted me and I told her 75. She was super happy. So just so you have context, in San Francisco, I think the average is probably my price currently about $425. I'm still the cheaper. Higher end people go for like $700, $800 per session. So just for context, but $75 was like an amazing deal. So it really depends on what the amazing deal is in your area. And I know some places are like, people are going for $50, $75. Don't look at that price as the average market price. Look at who are the established photographers that are doing really well, that you can tell. Just go from there, see how much they're charging, and try to tune out all the other, I don't want to say noise because they're probably doing amazing work and all that, but like just kind of keep your eye on that average good price. And then also it's, as a beginning photographer, it's what you're comfortable with. For me, like $275 was like, whoa, that's way too much. Somebody's paying me that much. But 75 felt like, okay, like I'm still nervous charging that much, but it felt good. So it feels like, it sounds so foo-foo and it's not very scientifically like, right there, but go with a price that you feel good about. And what I did was, from that $75, I kept going up like $25 and see if that felt good. And it felt good. So I would go up like $25 more. So like little increments at a time. So I think my number one advice of what a good price should be is what you feel comfortable charging. And if that's $25, it's $25. And just, but you will feel confident after 2 or 3 and be like, you know what, I think I can charge $50 and I'll be okay with it. So that's, I don't know if I went on too long, but that's my answer. Okay. I include photos in my set photo sessions. That is included in the price. They pay for a photo package. Do most photographers do this, or do they charge for the session and then clients purchase all the photos? Is no problem. I'm here for all the questions. So yeah, how I think everybody structures it differently. I am very uncomfortable with sales. This webinar like stressed me out because I hate sales. But so if for that reason, I wanted to do as little sales as possible. So for me, I just charge a flat session fee and they get all the images. They even also get like 5 or 10 images to be like extra photoshopped if they wanted to. So I do it all inclusive, but if you're, good with sales and if you're comfortable, I know a lot of people, who just charge for like 10 photos and then everybody else you can purchase more. I think they're pretty successful at it. For me, that's more work, and I don't want to do more work. Um, for me, I just want to shoot, edit, send it, and be done, in a like the most fun way. Like I just don't want to be like, okay, your photos are ready. Let's schedule time to go over them, and I already edited them, but I'm not going to give it to you unless you pay for. I just don't feel comfortable. A lot of people know how to do it. So if you are one of those people who are comfortable, like I think I would just go for it, because that is one way to make good money. And I hope that's helpful. I know we're going over the time that we said. So yeah. Well, if you have any questions or if you want to join, I would love to work with you for the next 4 weeks, to pass this time. I'm also a mom too, so I promise I won't like bombard with you with a whole bunch of stuff. I'll keep it concise. So head over to the offers tab and click on the Let's Do This if you want to, or just email me if you have any further questions about it or anything else. Again, my email is right here, hello@emilyjenks.com. And I hope to keep in touch. Bye. Thank you.